Bro, don't get me wrong, alright? It's not that I'm not, like, everyone's got to get paid. You know, everyone's got to make money. But I believe if you chase undisputed, the money's going to come. You know, like, you see these guys that get the world title, and then once they get the world title, it's like their bargaining chip. You know, they're like, well, if you want to fight me, you got to pay this much. Why are you trying to sell yourself? You know what I mean? It's because they don't believe they don't know how long they're going to hold that belt for. I told them, undisputed. We wanted unification fights. You know, I don't want to be jumping to conclusion, giving everyone hope. Like, bro, we're chasing undisputed first. Once that comes, then we'll talk about heavyweight. You know, it's respect, but at the same time, bro, I feel like it's an awesome fight. And I told him too. I said, "Fuck, bro, me and you, man, we'll light this place up." So it'll be and he's excited for it. So. And
suddenly, in a total contradiction, they're allowing Jai Opetaia to fight for all the other belts, to fulfill his dream of becoming undisputed, which is what every fighter wants. Look at me here, I have 16 belts.
Kind of a big deal.
Right now, I will tell him, your time will come. You don't have the experience that David has, Let's work harder, let's keep going, David will stop you right now, I'm not saying that he's a bad fighter. He's a really, really good fighter, but experience, bro. We've seen him get his jaw broken. Every fight he fights, he gets hurt. On the last fight he fought, it was a boring fight. He couldn't even deal with somebody that was putting pressure without punches.
Well, honestly, I don't think there's deep into it. Just fucking put us in the ring and who's better. Right. You know, what the fuck is this, all this and that, bro?
So basically,
who's better? Let's find out
go up.
Who is better?
Let me ask you something, and I tell everybody, I go by this. Does he have a good jab? Does he have a good body shot? Does he have a good uppercut? Does he have good defense? Does he have flurries? What is it that he has?
For Jai Opetaia, this is not about the paycheck. It is about proving greatness against David Benavidez in the kind of fight that could define an entire legacy. Making his intentions clear, Jai insists he is ready for Benavidez, with his focus firmly on proving he is the best, rather than chasing the biggest payday.
You see these guys that get the world title, and then once they get the world title, it's like their bargaining chip. You know, they're like, well, if you want to fight me, you got to pay this much. Why are you trying to sell yourself? You know what I mean? It's because they don't believe they don't know how long they're going to hold that belt for. You know, they think it's a short thing. They've got to make this money in this short window with me, but I believe I'm the best. You know, I believe that if I just keep winning, the money's going to come anyway. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm not chasing money. It's just I'm not chasing a quick payday to then, like, I'm not chasing a retirement payday. You know what I mean? I got some life left in me. Like, I'm ready to go. So, you know, I'm in the midst of the peak of my career. So, let's get it on, man.
At the same time, Jai accuses Benavidez of avoiding the fight, claiming that every attempt to make it happen has been met with excuses from the other side.
Man, that fight's easy to make on our side. You know what I mean? I've been ready. I've been, you know, I'll just hear excuses and you know, and this and that, you know, Buzz. Reach out. How bad do you want to fight? How bad do you want to be undisputed cruiserweight? That's an easy fight to make. You know, there's all these little excuses and stuff, but it is what it is, man. I think he's going to take a different path, and I think he's going to take a smarter path, to be honest.
As for Benavidez, he says he is ready whenever the fight can be made, but insists Jai must come to him as he has no interest in fighting for a Zuffa title.
I mean, I think that's the biggest fight in the world, especially at this weight division. You know, and that's definitely a fight I want. Like I said, I'm not scared of nobody. This is Monstro's world. And if he wants to get that fight, we get that fight. I don't know why he went to Zuffa. We could have made this fight right after this one. You know, but now I don't know if he got stripped by the IBF or what it is. You know, I'm not going to go over there and fight for a Zuffa title. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that would be a great fight to make in the future. And I mean, I respect Jai Opetaia a lot. He's a great fighter. And I think he has to come back over here to make these fights happen because, you know, we can't make no fights in Zuffa.
Brushing off Benavidez's claim, Jai dismisses it as a foolish way of thinking, insisting there is nothing stopping Zuffa from working with other parties to make the fight happen. He maintains that negotiations and cooperation are always possible when both sides are serious, and argues that the narrative of avoidance is completely false. In his view, the real focus should be on getting the deal done rather than creating excuses, as he believes the matchup can be finalized if the intention is truly there from all involved. well.
You know, I saw David Benavidez, he said that you signing with Zuffa is a roadblock to y'all possibly fighting. Do you feel that way?
Why would that happen? Why?
I don't know, that's just how he feels. He was like, well, you know, I don't know if Zuffa's gonna work with us or whatever, so.
100%, why wouldn't they? That would be so silly not to. That's the biggest, if he wins this fight and we have a unification fight, why would anyone not have that on? Right. Why would any promoter, the only reason they wouldn't have it on is if promoters were like, no, I'm doing it, doing it. And they lose track of what the most important thing is, and that's a unification
That can
fight.
happen though. Like
not really with Turkey.
No, not with Turkey.
And with that, Jai also reveals details about his agreement with Zuffa, making it clear that there is nothing stopping this fight from happening. He states that discussions have already taken place internally, and the path to making the matchup real is fully open. Jai insists the narrative of restrictions is exaggerated, stressing that everything depends on willingness from all sides. In his view, the opportunity is already on the table, and it is now only a matter of finalizing the details to move forward.
But when you signed the Zuffa, was that part of the conversation? I don't want any issues making fights with anybody.
100%.
Right.
100%, bro, we're here to fight the best. We're here to get undisputed. I've made that clear to everyone. You know what I mean? We want to be undisputed. We want to fight for all the belts. I just feel like being undisputed in your own weight category is the goal. Yeah. You know, and once that's done, then what's next? But until that's done, I'm not satisfied.
Jai's situation becomes increasingly interesting because while he insists money is not his motivation, he has also committed to Zuffa. Oscar De La Hoya challenges Jai's position, arguing that his belief about Zuffa working with other sanctioning bodies does not match comments previously made by Dana White. Oscar warns that this could create major obstacles for Jai's long-term ambitions. He goes as far as saying that if Jai remains under those conditions, his dream of becoming undisputed could disappear because of the very structure and rules Zuffa plans to follow.
And suddenly, in a total contradiction, they're allowing Jai Opetaia to fight for all the other belts, to fulfill his dream of becoming undisputed, which is what every fighter wants. Look at me here, I have 16 belts.
Kind of a big deal.
And I wanted more. Remember Dana said he had no intentions of working with the 4 major sanctioning bodies. And now he's changing his mind?
Dana barely ever tells the truth.
And they're allowing Opetaia to be co-promoted by someone else who knows their way around boxing.
Yeah, giveaway.
This makes them nothing more than just another promoter with a made-up doofus belt.
Adding even more fuel to the fire, Jose Benavidez Sr. makes a stunning claim that challenges Jai's accusations about excuses from the Benavidez side. According to Jose Sr., multiple messages have already been sent to both Jai and his team, yet no response has come back. He questions who is really avoiding the fight when contact has allegedly been made several times. Jose also says outreach was made to Dana White, arguing that the silence from their side raises doubts and suggests a lack of confidence about facing the Mexican monster.
Brother, any fight could happen. Like I said, if you interview him, just ask him that for me.
I will.
Did you get reach up? How many times have they been trying to reach? No, I like to hear crickets. Nothing back, you know? So why are you talking all this and doing that, you know? Let's sit down, you know? These fights are easy to make. You know, with the Mexican monster, nothing's difficult. Nothing's like, oh, let me think about it, all this and that, you know? Everything's ready to go, brother. We're ready to go. We're ready to make fights happen. At the end of the day, you know, you're talking all this, you know, but there's no response back, you know?
Taking the controversy to another level, Jose Sr. argues that Jai does not truly want the Benavidez fight and is instead using the matchup to generate attention. He questions Jai's development, saying that if he were his trainer, he would have advised him to gain far more experience before stepping in with the Mexican monster. Jose Sr. also dismisses Jai's recent performances, calling the Brandon Glanton fight a boring one. In his view, Jai has shown signs of being hurt, losing momentum, and fading as fights progress. He even points to moments where Jai struggled with incoming shots, arguing that those weaknesses would be exposed against an elite fighter like Benavidez.
I don't think he wants it, bro. You know, to be honest with you, if I was training him right now, I would tell him, you know, your time will come. You know, you don't have the experience that David has, you know. Let's work harder. Let's keep going, you know. David would stop you right now, you know? I'm not saying that he's a bad fighter. He's a really, really good fighter, but experience, bro. You know, we've seen him get his jaw broken. Every fight he fights, he gets hurt. On the last fight he fought, it was a boring fight. He couldn't even deal with somebody that was putting pressure without punches. He couldn't do anything. He got tired. You know, he looked terrible. At the end of the day, like I tell everybody, you know, he is getting better and better and better, but he couldn't do nothing with somebody that just put the body in it and gave him pressure.
Coming up with inside revelations, boxing journalist Sean Zittel shares his latest discovery about what is really happening behind the scenes. According to him, he received close confirmation from both fighter camps, and when he asked why Jai Opetaia's side was not responding to Jose Benavidez Sr., the answer pointed toward working with someone else aligned with Benavidez. However, when Zittel further verified with Jose Sr., it was confirmed that no official offer had ever been received from Jai's team. This raises serious questions around the entire situation. Zittel also suggests it makes sense that Jai may not truly want the Benavidez fight, especially with earlier talks of facing Neal Mikhailian.
So they said, well, the reason why nobody would get back to Jose is because we were told Louis DeCubas from David is the guy who handles his affairs now. Well, Jose counters that, well, even if you are going to talk to Louis DeCubas, I'm still his manager, you know, in writing, and I have to finalize anything that David's going to do.
Right.
So what I then asked was, okay, well, then did Louis DeCubas ever get an offer from Team Opetaia? And I did not get a yes on that question. So I don't know if it's fair to say Benavidez is ducking Opetaia when they never got an offer. And actually, the fight that's been in the works for months is Neal Mikhailian.
Pointing out a situation where behind the scenes things are not being settled, Sean affirms that both fighters have actually admitted that neither side is ducking the other. He shuts down the claims of avoidance, putting a clearer picture on what is really going on. In his view, the confusion comes from how business decisions are handled when planning what comes next for both fighters. Rather than fear or avoidance, he suggests it is simply negotiation and timing driving the current situation between the camps.
You remember Neal Mikhailian and Opetaia had a face-off photo after the inaugural Zuffa event, or it might have been the second Zuffa show, but I think it was the first one. And then a couple weeks ago, it was being reported that Mikhailian and Opetaia are closing in on a fight. So that's been the fight in the works for a while, not making an offer to David Benavidez to fight Opetaia for the cruiserweight title. Now, they also told me, we don't think Benavidez is ducking Jai, but obviously Jai isn't. He wants to fight David. Both fighters aren't ducking each other. It's just, this is the business right now. Sean understands this even better than me. He's been through it.
Expressing his thoughts, Zittel believes the frustration coming from Jose Benavidez Sr. is understandable, as he is not getting responses. However, he suggests it all creates a negative impression around Jai if the facts and revelations turn out to be accurate. In his view, silence and miscommunication only fuel more suspicion in a situation that is already highly tense. He adds that in boxing, perception matters just as much as reality, and moments like this can easily shape how fans interpret the entire storyline.
So from Jose's standpoint, the first and second options were Bivol and Beterbiev, right? But now I'm here, he believes that Bivol and Beterbiev will have a trilogy, which means Benavidez can't get either one of them. And the other people I talked to involved said they heard that Bivol and Beterbiev will stage their trilogy in Russia. And it'll be funded by the Russians, not by the Saudis, okay? Which would make sense why Bivol was fighting in Russia over the weekend.
Of course.
So if you're Jose Benavidez and you're not keen on an Opetaia fight, you feel like it's not a big fight yet, because Opetaia fought in front of like 800 people when he defended the lineal title against Brandon Glanton. And besides, you know, you're not getting messages returned to you. I understand.
When negotiations fell apart, the Benavidez team had to take another route. Zittel highlights that Dimitri Bivol is now being considered, with even Jose Benavidez Sr. believing that direction is likely next, which pushes the Bivol fight further away. As for Jai, he is not interested in taking that path. With no answers or return calls coming from his side, the fight appears to be drifting further out of reach. The situation escalated when a petition was made to the WBC to create a Benavidez mandatory storyline, while Neal Mikhailian would also be affected if he chooses to face Jai in the current climate.
David is now the mandatory, and that's when he did get a call on Friday night from Mick Francis, and they had like a 12-minute convo. You know, Mick Francis saying, well, okay, when should we put this fight together? So his best move he felt then was to petition the WBC to mandate David for the WBC title at cruiserweight. We can't get Bivol and Beterbiev, and the Opetaia fight is not the fight being made right now, and Opetaia has a fight for a few months now lined up with Michaelian anyways. Then let's just keep collecting hardware. So now Michaelian, he sounds like he will be stripped if he fights Opetaia for the lineal cruiserweight title, but it won't be for the sanctioning body belts, the WBC and the IBF.
In the end, Benavidez is left with options like Bivol, Beterbiev, and Opetaia, but many now see Bivol as the most realistic path forward. Sean Zittel believes Benavidez is the man ready to take over the division, and even beats Jai, Bivol, and Beterbiev in different scenarios. Meanwhile, Sean Porter insists Beterbiev would bring an entirely different level of danger and drama if that fight is made. With so many elite names in the mix, the division feels wide open, but also more unpredictable than ever at the top.
Below the heavyweight division, I think he beats Opetaia, Beterbiev, and Bivol, but it's not enough for me to just say he's got to prove it.
But with Beterbiev, there's that power that is like
41 though.
It's but it's still a machine. You know what I mean? Like the power is like it's a different. That's literal truck
for sure
type shit going in the ring with Beterbiev. So of all those guys, I kind of trust Beterbiev's power to challenge Benavidez more than anything else. Bivol has amazing skill. To me, Opetaia not experienced enough.
Well, that's what Jose Sr. says, but he is the best cruiserweight in the world.
All these twists, negotiations, and shifting directions have only made one thing clear. The Benavidez situation is far from simple, and every camp is now waiting for the next big move that could reshape the entire division. Whether it is Jai, Benavidez, Bivol, or Michaelian, nothing is set in stone until contracts are signed and gloves are on. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit subscribe, drop your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for more deep fight updates and boxing drama.